Welcome to the fifth match of this league. We have a very good hand on the play, and we shall keep. Next turn, Pest Overseer. Turn after that, Plating Equip. Seems good. And we are against Shadow, or some other thing that plays Street Wraith. Probably Shadow. That's my bet. Alright. How do I like this hand against Shadow? They have a lot of removal, then this could be pretty awkward, but if they are low on removal, I think we're going to win any race that we get into with them. Cranial Plating is just so good. And also being on the play really helps. Thought Scour. Okay. Could be a turn 2 Daziger very easily. Turn 2 Daziger into Fatal Push, probably the hardest thing for us to beat. But even a Fatal Push or Lightning Bolt or something like that, not the end of the world, because we'll either have an active Overseer or be attacking with a Cranial Plating Signal Pest, which is pretty strong. Serum Visions. Alright, next turn. Plating. Equip Bash. Deal 4 damage. If we draw an artifact, 0 mana artifact, could do a lot more of it. Puts them down to 9. And no, I'm not worried about making their shadows bigger. Right now, they need to be worried about me killing them. At the point at which I'm dying to shadows, I'm also having had all my creatures get killed, because right now, even a really big shadow is not going to win a race against me. If he taps out without killing the Signal Pest, he just loses. It's kind of nice. Play 2 shadows. This is a Tassiger, Gurmag Angler, one of the two. Okay. So he's pretty all in on the next Fatal Push. Yes, that. Forgot about that. Was it better to animate 3 Blink Moths and hope he didn't have the 3rd Fatal Push or a Dismember instead of playing into giving him another turn with Stubborn Knife? In retrospect, that might have been a better play, to just animate 3 of these, get more artifacts for the Cranial Plating. Regardless, this way he does still have 3 lethal threats. He pretty much is limited to 3 mana, unless he has basic, because all fetch lands and shock lands are turned off. I don't believe Shadow is currently playing main deck sweepers of any kind, so that rolls off Kolaghan's command. They need like double Lightning Bolt Fatal Push, something stupid. And we still have Animate Ink Nexus Chump if something completely disastrous happens, but yeah. Alright, champions are amazing. Blood Moon is very good. Masters, I'm going to cut because... no, I'll keep a couple Masters. Thoughtseize is good. Mem Knights don't do enough. I'm going to cut the Galvanic Blast. Galvanic Blast is interesting. It does punish them for putting themselves too low on life, but at the same time, if they play around it, then it's atrociously bad a lot of the time, compared to having one of the more powerful cards that we could have. And our last cut will be a cut an Overseer. Just it's the least likely to live when we're on the draw. All of these cards are more game breaking against the Shadow player than the rest of this. Ah, that looks good. 3 Blood Moons on the draw might be a little greedy. This is the first time I've played against Shadow since I added the 3rd Blood Moon to my sideboard. That was a fairly recent addition when Titan Shift really started to take off. What with the printing of, what is it called? Hour of Promise. Yeah, this looks good. I will keep this. Keep this sideboard plan. Okay. We've got a bunch of good stuff, and this is perfectly acceptable. We'll keep. Play Vault Scourge and Ornithopter over Opal on turn 1. Turn 2, we have our choice of Perennial Plating or Steel Overseer. Got the mana to cast any 3 mana things if we draw them on turn 2. There's nothing funnier than top decking the Blood Moon that they didn't see with their Thoughtseize and slamming it down, causing them to instantly concede. There is nothing funnier than that. I might have a terrible sense of humor. I like Serum Visions because it's not a Thoughtseize. This is a really miserable deck to mulligan against because of Thoughtseize. Ooh, yes. This is excellent. Alright. Now we force them to have removal on turn 2, which I suppose they're very likely to have, but they have to play it now. They can't let Steel Overseer untap. That's just not a thing you can do. And now we can play Vault Scourge and Plating and, well, no. If they Fatal Push the Steel Overseer, then this kind of feels bad. But we're still live to draw stuff. What I was saying, though, is it's really awful to mulligan against this deck because they have Thoughtseize. So if you try to mulligan to your payoffs and they just get discarded, you feel real bad. Well, I will pray for no anger / Lane Tendrils. Because the upside of just running out everything is so high. And if we get owned by this, then we get owned. If we don't, we probably win. I like these spots because I feel like the longer they wait, the more likely it is they don't have it. I know if I'm in his position, I'm just like, alright, snap the Delta off, play the Wrath, dance as I win because my opponent has 4 cards. Well, it's not Anger of the Gods. Could be Kozilek's Return. Wait. No Sweeper. Now they just have to deal with a bunch of tiny flyers. And the possibility of just top decking some insane card that wins the game on the spot. That's the fun thing. They do have Swamp, so Blood Moon is no longer game over. It just shuts them off blue. attack angular is whatever. No reason not to play the Vault Scourge. Not when my plan is already to beat him down. Ready for no top deck sweeper. Also, we put him dead on board here, unless he has removal. I'm sure he does. Probably Kolagun's command, kill these two next turn, but hey. Put them down to 4. Oh, just a snap fatal push, putting them to 2. Ooh, excellent, excellent. These are not the actions of someone who has a very good hand. We probably have this match too. That may be premature to say, but I would always be happy in this board position. Opt all you want. Bottom. Okay. Alright, we did it. 4-1. Could be a lot worse. Come back for the next league.